Page 36, listen to the mockingbird. There's no pedal in this. Okay? Surprise, surprise. At the top of the page, they're introducing a change of clef. Welcome to the world of music, especially piano music. Because those clef signs can change at any time, any number of times, however they want to. Okay, take a look at the end of the second line in the bottom staff. You see a little treble clef snuck in there? That's telling you it's changing. The next measure is treble clef. But they tell you in advance what's happening. So at the beginning of the third line, you will notice both staves are in treble clef. So we've changed clef. Now the left hand has to play treble clef notes. So the first note in the third line for the left hand is an A, F, B, and you're up here. You're playing treble clef notes. It looks like it stays treble clef for the rest of the piece. A lot of times you'll get it where it'll change for a while and then it'll change back. In this piece it didn't do that. And it could happen anytime in either clef and blah, you just good luck trying to keep up with it. Now, they're also talking about syncopation. I thought we already talked about syncopation. Syncopation, simply put, is either you play a note when you don't expect to play a note, or you don't play a note when you do expect a note. There's pointing them out to you. Take a look at the last two measures of the first line in the right hand. You have an eighth note followed by a dotted quarter note. Each of those. Well, it's syncopation because you're not expecting the dotted quarter note so soon. It's like in the first full measure, it's a dotted quarter note. And I would expect a quarter note in that next measure. That would be what we'd more or less expect. But what they've done is by putting in the eighth note, you're playing the next note sooner than you're expecting it. So it's that. Starting with the first full measure there. So you're playing a note sooner than you expect to hear it. And that is syncopation in this case. Okay. Now, syncopation is other things too. Now, I'll talk a little bit about the right hand. This is a happy piece. It's animated. Well, animated is a happy. It's like an allegretto, maybe a little quicker. But it's a fun piece. Type thing. We're not going to take it that fast. We're going to go slow so we can concentrate on the notes and get the rhythms and fingerings and all that stuff. Right at the beginning in the right hand, the two G's. I recommend when you see this kind of thing, in most cases you're going to do a 2-1 fingering. A 2 on the first one and then a 1. So the pickup would be with the second finger. There. And I suggest you do the same thing every time that pickup happens in this piece. Then in the third line down, second measure and third measure, the last two measures of third line, you see all those 16th notes? This is a quick little piece. Now, it's a bit strenuous to have to use the same finger repeatedly like that. You will find professionals for showiness or whatever will do that, but they do it out of show. They don't do it out of good technique. So I would recommend on here, you simply do a 3-1-3-1. Alternate the two fingers on those. With a little practice, if your piano's action is working, it's pretty simple to do actually. Plain staccato, do-do-do-do-do. Same thing for the 16th notes in the last measure on the D's. Now, and speaking of the last measure, at the beginning of the last measure, the first E, the first note's going to be with third finger, and then you have the two D's coming up. I recommend a 2-1. So starting with the 16th note E's, it's this. Going on, just same thing. Then in the fourth line down, second measure, again, 3-1-3-1, then a 2. And then keep that pattern going throughout. Now if you can handle it, and you can experiment with it, in the last line, and the next to the last measure with those A's, I would do a 5, 3, 4, 5, if you can. That's what I'm suggesting. The left hand just has the chords. 4 chords. We've been there before, right? Okay, only you're playing the Alberti bass pattern. And again, I'm just rolling. I'm transferring weight from one finger to another. I'm kind of rolling the hand. You think the thumb's getting overused, it's got to go too much, but if you'll do this, that thumb really doesn't mind at all. They're putting out, or they're showing you the chord names there. You see the G at the beginning there. It's just telling you it's a G chord. It's not really part of the music. It's something the author's stuck in here to help you out. And the next line, the first measure, it's a C chord. You go down to the fourth line, you got some more. They're just telling you what the chord is. Be exact. Play the rest to full length. In the first line, you have 2 quarter rests in the right hand. Make sure you give it a full beat rest because it makes a difference. For instance, look at the third line down in the second measure. You have a dotted half note in the right hand, the 8th note's in the left hand. Third beat, they're both down, and then when the right hand does the 16th notes, the left hand comes up, right? Right? So the 16th notes are by themselves, right? But the whole measure, there's sound going on, right? At one hand or another, there's sound. Well, take a look at the fourth line down, last measure. It's similar. You have an E instead of a C in the right hand. But the E is a half note, not a dotted half note. So it's got a 1 beat rest in it. So when the left hand plays that C, it's by itself. The right hand is stopped. And then the 16th notes take over. See, they're not the same, so don't play them the same. Keep track of, when you're holding a note down for how long, wherever, because it's going to be different from time to time. Just because the passage came by once before a certain way doesn't mean it's going to be exactly that way now. The authors or composers and arrangers deliberately change them for variety, so you have to watch out. These little things, they make a huge difference. Let's try this out. It has a pickup beat, so I'll give you 3 counts and we'll play it together. So we're starting out here. Here we go. 1, ready, and go, and 4.